Jordan Peterson's crying again? I would have never seen this coming.
What?
This clip is so fun.
Pain.
This man is so up. It's just so
Why?
gnarly. Here, just watch it.
Is there anything more fundamental than pain? Love.
Wait, hold on. There's a longer clip that I feel like shows it better.
You.
Longer clip of this?
I watched that whole podcast and it was painful.
Was it all super awkward, man?
Well, at first I thought maybe he's still
Yes.
capable of having like a somewhat interesting conversation, but like literally on every single point he has these kind of moment where he goes up, like stares out in the fucking horizon and like just thinks about something and says something so fucking cringe. You'll think he's like discovered something great to say, and then he comes back and like says the dumbest shit.
Back on
Precisely.
or something.
I like Lex Friedman though. It's pretty cool.
You like that guy? Okay, I don't know much about him. I just recognize his face.
Here, I think this is the longer clip you were talking about.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the whole thing is just incredible.
A DILF?
Yeah, I think this is it.
What was it that I said? Dust.
Yeah, here we go.
Matter isn't dead. Dust. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. Matter is what matters. There's a definition.
Dude, he's reverted to a 13-year-old and I'm deep shit. Jordan Peterson, great thinker of all time, just said matter matters.
I don't know what
is
dust
matter.
is. I don't know what dust is.
I think that might be out of your realm of expertise.
Fuck you.
I don't understand what matter is. What
Who
is
the hell
matter?
knows in these increasingly strange days? Matter is what matters. There's a definition. That's a very weird definition. But
that would be a horrible definition.
what's real? Matter. It's like, okay, that's one answer. What's real? What matters is real. Because that's how you act. Okay, so that's different than matter. It's like, okay, what's the most real of what matters? How about pain? Why is it the most real? Try arguing it away. Good luck. So pain is the fundamental reality.
What?
All right.
I'm just going to let it play. I'm going to let it play and then we can watch and comment. 'Cause
Yeah.
it deserves to be played on its own.
Okay.
Well, that's rough. Doesn't that lead to nihilism and hopelessness? Yeah, doesn't it lead to a philosophy that's antithetical towards being? The most fundamental reality is pain. Yes. Is there anything more fundamental than pain? Love. Really?
It's so good.
If you're in pain,
This man needs help.
love and truth. That's what you got. And you know, and that's that. If they're more powerful than pain, maybe they're the most real things.
Bro, you worried about him?
Matter is
lost.
Bro, you should be worried about him. It's time to stop the cameras and ask if he needs help.
Yeah.
He is not doing well. That's what I'm saying. They keep parading him around. I mean, I feel like at a certain point, these conservative grifters are using someone who's not well, and it's becoming problematic. Like, to be bringing this guy out crying about matter matters. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I think contextually, because, you know, he's a deeply spiritual man, as he talks about all the time, and you know, he hates
the Jews,
postmodernism, and you know, materialism and stuff. And I think he's trying to like undercut the argument about like realist philosophy about matter and everything, but it's just so confused. The point that he's trying to make.
Wait,
and then,
what the
as
fuck?
always,
What
he
is
just
this
breaks out into crying halfway through, which just seems to be every interview that he does nowadays winds up with him tearing up halfway through. So I don't know.
Pussy.
Yeah, so I like he goes, what's the most powerful thing? Pain. I was like, what? You just picked that at random. You just picked that emotion at random. I think you're in a lot of pain.
It's the most real for him. His life is pain.
This is just basically almost like incoherent psychobabble.
Because that's how you act. Okay, so that's different than matter. It's like, okay.
It's different than matter. Okay. What are men made out of? Semen and muscles. Is that what matters? Yes. Matter is semen and muscle and pain. Okay, so pain matters. We've figured that out. But you know what matters more than pain and cum and muscles? Love. What is love? Okay, we've defined pain. But what is love? It's also cum and muscles.
And that matters.
And that matters more.
I'm not seeing enough tears out of you for this to be a proper.
Come on, I'm not seeing enough tears.
Yeah, let's get some.
Break
Come on,
it down.
everybody.
You know
I'm
what
not seeing
really
enough
going
tears
here?
out here.
Break 'em
like
down.
watching
You know
that-
what really matters?
I'm not seeing a lot of movement.
At what point did he start crying? That's why I don't understand. It was so instant. I really lost it.
That's
He
exactly
said the word
yeah.
love, and it
Oh.
just it
Bro,
hit him.
I've been places in my life where I'm that unstable and I'm like crying at everything and I'm just like a fucking mess emotionally. I like when I went to college before I was medicated or like in therapy, I was like a mess. Things like small things, I would be in tears. I remember I was like at a movie theater watching some movie and I was just like sobbing uncontrollably.
Spy
and-
Kids.
Yeah, Spy Kids, man, it's so tragic what happened to them.
I have a story exactly like that. When
Mhm.
I was switching my medications, I think I did it improperly and like the tapering was messed up. And I knew that something was wrong when I was sitting in the kitchen and my parents were watching the Bee Gees documentary and I wasn't even paying attention. I literally wasn't even listening. I don't know anything about the Bee Gees. I heard the narrator say that like his brother had died and I lost my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, his brother died. And something needs to change. And
Right.
that is what this reminds me
So,
of.
so I've been there, and it's like a deeply unstable, emotionally
Yeah.
unwell place, right?
Yeah, it was like
Okay,
nothing could make me
Ethan.
feel better. And I
Right.
couldn't understand that it wasn't affecting me.
So
But you guys aren't psychiatric help with like
right,
psychiatric
this one has a
professionals
PhD.
telling people how to live their lives.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But no, I'm trying to explain where this emotional state that I see him in. But it is extra ironic considering he has a PhD in psychology.
I was thinking during this podcast, you can see he has like some IQ. There's something underneath everything, but then there's this layer of just sorrow or like sadness and emotion on top that just ruins it all.
So
'Cause,
when he
yeah,
when
he-
he was coming on the scene and was super popular, he was articulate. He was thoughtful. He's very smart. I mean, he has a great way of weaving things together and telling great stories. But since he basically went to Russia and got a blood transfusion for some crazy experimental treatment for benzo addiction, his mind it's just all unhinged, man. Or the meat diet too. That can't be helping. The meat diet cannot be helping his emotional state.
I feel like
Who
the
cares what you believe?
the meat diet was a symptom, not a cause.
Quit
You know what I
speaking,
mean?
you.
Well, you know,
Like to me, that's like
Yeah.
part of the erratic behavior of like, I'm just gonna start slamming fucking T-bones.
some
4
say it
times
was
a
the
day.
the sip of apple
Yeah, the
cider.
apple
Sons
cider.
of bitches.
But it's interesting when he talks about his all meat diet. He says it cured him. He says it's cured his mental his
Clearly.
depression.
Yeah, he seems great. He's doing great now.
But seriously, at what point do these people really need to like be more concerned about him as a human being than
Fuck
about
you,
getting
son of a
podcast
bitch.
views?
Well, they won't.
I love this clip though.
What's the most
Well, yeah, Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire's like, yo, this guy's super unstable. Let's get him.
Let's give him a whole
Get him
show.
out.
That's what I was gonna say. Is it the opposite seems to be the case.
Exactly. Totally.
real of what matters? How about pain?
Pain.
Why is it the most real? Try arguing it away.
He answers his own question so bad. Why is pain the most real? Try arguing that away, bucko. You can't do it. It's pain.
It sounds like he's doing like spoken word poetry
Mhm.
of like a Talking Head song or something. You know? And you may find yourself living in a beautiful house, with a beautiful life.
Funny.
Thinking the pain away.
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? he does a lot of these hand motions to it. He goes,
That's so good. That's so
magical
true,
hands.
isn't it?
He's very Dave Byrne inspired.
Good luck.
Good luck, Bucko.
So pain is the fundamental reality.
How'd you get to that? How did you leap from that? Pain. There's time, space, and pain. Matter is made up from cum, muscles, and pain.
Love.
Would you like some of my cum? And love. This man is so fucked up.
All right. Well, that's rough.
That's rough.
Doesn't that lead to nihilism and hopelessness?
Talk about the allegation!
Yeah, doesn't it lead to a philosophy that's antithetical towards being? The most fundamental reality is pain. Yes. Is there anything more fundamental than pain? Love.
Love. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of my favorite Jordan Peterson moments for sure.
Love. Love.
What was the reception of this podcast? Were the comments kind of like?
Oh, you know how his fans are.
Well, that's what I'm
This
wondering.
is incredible. This is the deepest conversation.
Well,
So happy we can
I
have.
think they're good. Yeah, I think they're very good.
oh, people love it. Okay.
I said I love it.
They love it.
Battle not.
Really? If you're in pain,
You're in pain.
Absolutely fantastic podcast and interview. This was both Lex Friedman and Jordan Peterson at their best. The longer interview really helped get any vestiges of the boilerplate out of the way and allowed the conversation to go much deeper than usual. By the end, it was like watching two old friends talk. That's the
Oh my God.
top comment on the video. So.
That's absurd.
All right. Well, shout out, you guys. Follow your kings. Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson will lead you to the promised land, the intellectual promised land. Here's another clip. This guy had all the great clips here. Let's take a look at this one.
so I have the question. The question might be something like, put your house in perfect order before you criticize the world.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
What does that mean exactly? What does house mean? What does put
mean?
That active verb. What does perfect and order mean?
Chill, bro.
Lose some money today.
He's like he's questioning like Theodore. What does put mean? What does mean? He does that all day, and you know. But Jordan, you're a grown ass man.
Why before you criticize the world? What does it mean to criticize? What does it mean to criticize the world? How can you do that properly or improperly? So I have the question.
Bro, I love what does put mean.
Okay. What does that mean exactly? What does house mean? What does put mean? That active.
This guy is so fucking.
You're really drilling into it. Dude, he's been saying the same thing for like 5-6 years now. It's not that fucking deep.
Clean your
What's going
house.
on?
Yeah, I mean, well,
What's going on?
Confucius said that. I mean, he didn't even. People have been using that expression for literally thousands of years. Confucius said, like, make sure your bed mat is tidy before you can tidy your life, or something. You know, something similar. Also, his house is dirty as shit.
My seed is all over this place.
The life of you.
Jordan Peterson makes a startling confession. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Will the globalists take the life of your children? It's very likely. If you're Dutch, ask yourself, why? I have a message for birds. Stop flying. If you dare, I'll splash you with icy and salty slush as I drive by in my Ford Bronco SUV. Existing is pain, don't you think? Gamers are rising up, as they should. The planet will descend into chaos. This will devastate Australia. Emergency! We have to make everyone poorer now. I should have all the money. Critics of my view will say, if we make the poor poorer, life will be more difficult and less rewarding. This would be good. How do we know? Delusional thinking. Did you watch the Better Call Saul finale? That was something. Here is the confession. I killed 40 hookers in May of this year alone.
That is a confession.
Really?
Dude.
Will the
shout out
global-
to Very Tall Bart
Yes.
for that.
Excellent edit.
Love.
I felt like that made like That was a favor to Jordan. That made him sound more sane.
Right.
Yeah.
More coherent than
Most
the
sane
story.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson clip right there.
Yeah.
It's a
Hila's
vibe
in
right
the
now.
chat.
Ela in the chat.
What's up, Ela? She says, love listening to my favorite podcast. Fuck my top L. Wait, let me look at the chat.
What the fuck?
Ela says,
over
loving
it.
listening to my favorite
It's
podcast.
not funny.
Love my top L lad, Landrew Late.
Landrew Lake.
Let's go, Landrew Late.
Bottom.
L lad, Ela,
Wheela.
Wheela,
Guys tripping.
W Ela, Wheela.
Woo.
Fuck you.
Yeah, so there's more. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I love it.
I trust Lomberg. I trust Tupi. I trust Matt Ridley. They've thought about these things deeply. They're not just saying, oh, the environment doesn't matter, whatever the environment is. You know, the environment. I don't even know what that is. That's everything. The environment.
Well, to be fair, you don't even know what put means. So you're still struggling with matter. What matters matters.
That was some serious shit.
I loved it. Like he's just so overwhelmed with meaning and importance, and then the environment. He's like, the environment, that fucking ridiculous shit. He just went down the meme hole of right-wing talking points. Why does Jordan Peterson even have an opinion about the environment? You know what I mean? Because he's part of the Daily Wire. The environment, fucking bitch. How dare you tell me how to treat this? Whatever treat means. Whatever mean means. What means? Mean. Start grunting.
Doesn't matter whatever the environment is.
Woo.
You know, the environment. I don't even know what that is. That's everything. The environment. I'm concerned about the environment. It's like, how is that different than saying I'm worried about everything?
Bitch, it has a specific definition, you dumbass. You don't have to get like the environment, bro. Just Google it. I don't know what to say. Just use a definition. Here, I'll tell you.
The surrounding or conditions in which a person, animal, or plant lives and operates.
Damn, that wasn't that fucking hard, was it, dude?
Didn't even
That
need
was
a PhD.
so easy to define, actually. You're a PhD?
It's not easy.
What's the fucking environment?
PhD's nuts.
Sheesh. Got him. Retire now, bitch.
W. Dan.
Dude, this guy, how are you real, bro? This take on the environment is so
You know,
funny.
the environment. I don't even know what that is. That's everything. The environment. I'm concerned about the environment. It's like,
Talk about the alligators!
Bro, whatever, Jordan.
This is why I'm watching.
Wow, there's a lot of these. This is great. Here, there's more here. I'm loving this, man.
Why do you care?
Right.
Let me ask you about the famine of the 30s.
yeah.
Do you think
In Ukraine?
In the Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. Fun.
Similar.
Fun.
It tastes like beef jerky. It tastes like.
Jesus.
Chill.
I didn't even hit it twice.
A lot of the things you mentioned in the last few sentences kind of echo to that part of human history.
The hole in the door.
Do you
The hole in the door.
Hold the door. Hold her.
The hole in the door.
There's more. USB. Okay, so this sounds pretty
The
crazy.
West, for example, is no longer at replacement with regard to birth rate. It means we've abandoned the virgin and the child in the most fundamental sense. It's a bloody catastrophe.
What the fuck is the virgin and the child? Is this some biblical shit?
Yeah, Jesus and Mother Mary.
So what does it have to do with Jesus and Mother Mary?
Well, he's just saying like humanity's most sacred duty is to procreate, essentially, and that we've.
But why has he got to say it like that?
Because he's Jordan Peterson.
He goes,
he has
"We've
to be as
abandoned-
obtuse and weird
we've
as possible
abandoned
about
the
everything."
virgin and the child.
Anal sex.
When?
Just say we have to have more kids. You got to talk like in psychobabble. What matters? Children.
Sexual desire of any sort.
What matter makes children? Come.
I have the great luxury of coming.
There's more.
Urgency. Dragon. There's a dragon.
Uh-oh.
Someone comes and says,
Oh
there's
no,
a dragon.
he's talking about the
I'm
dragon.
the guy to deal with it. That's what the environmentalists say, the radical
bread and
types
butter.
who push limits to growth. Then I look at them and I think, okay, is that dragon real or not? Why should I listen to you? Well, let's see how you're reacting.
I was so fucked up on Xanax once. I saw a literal dragon. I found myself asking, is that dragon real?
I was watching House of the Dragon last night on 100 milligrams of benzos.
I saw the dragon in my living room. Was it a real dragon? No. But did I love the dragon? Yes.
To the dragon. First of all, you're scared stiff and in a state of panic. That might indicate you're not the man for the job.
Dude, this man is on the verge. He's got 1 foot in the grave. Like, seriously.
Maybe.
Get this man help. Feed this man a fucking tomato or something. This man needs sustenance.
Vitamin C.
His body is failing.
You're scared stiff and in a state of panic. That might indicate you're not the man for the job.
Pussy.
Second, you're willing to use compulsion to harness other people to fight the dragon for you. So now not only are you terrified, you're a terrified tyrant. So then I would say, well, then you're not the Moses that we need to lead us out of this particular exodus.
Dude, I'm sorry, but there's no fucking way that people listen to this and were like, that man, this is the best Jordan's ever been. He's not even coherent. He speaks in like metaphors, like nonstop metaphors. It's just not a good way to communicate. Can't mix metaphors.
I missed the part of the Bible where Moses is fighting dragons, though. That
Moses,
sounds pretty
yeah,
sick.
right. That's what I'm saying. You can't mix metaphors, bro. You got to stick with one. Otherwise, it gets too sloppy.
This was by far my favorite conversation between two human beings. I feel so lucky to have listened in on
No way.
it. Thank you both.
No
I
fucking
believe
way.
it.
How many views does it have?
1 million. 1 million.
Okay, that's not like an existential crisis. A million I can live with. If I had 20 or something, then I'd be worried.
1.3. So then I would say, well, then you're not the Moses that we need to lead us out of this particular exodus.
Like, there's a dragon, but then Moses comes in. We need Moses to lead us away from the dragon and spread the seas, like King David, like Alexander the Great, who cut the cube in half. And then we got to get the dragon and spread the sea. Wait, I'm Moses. Okay, now I'm Alexander. We need to conquer this dragon.
With our own dragon. We need our own dragon.
We need our own. Have you guys seen the new House of Dragons? Very good show. But as I was saying,
Let's say someone asked me a question in the YouTube comment. Said, why can I trust your advice on the environmental front?
that is a great
thought-
question. Why the fuck would I listen to Jordan Peterson on environmental?
And I say,
Why did
what
what?
is what is listening? What is listening? What is is?
I just can't believe he's getting into like climate change denial now. Like, where did that even come from, dude?
This was, and I don't say this lightly, the best conversation I've ever heard with the doc as a guest. Lex did a huge favor to JBP followers in this video.
Play the We Are All
Domestic terrorists?
Yeah. Go ahead, AB.
Any moment now, AB? Nope.
This is not close enough. Let's keep going.
That's not it.
That's not
Where is the best place to shit in a Walmart?
All right.
Why-
Why is everything
Walmart.
about Walmart? Yeah, what the fuck?
We
Ladies
are.
and
You
gentlemen,
you
It's
clearly
we
just
are.
typed
all
Walmart, AB.
domestic
Oh,
terrorists.
he got it. He got it, folks.
One more time.
Okay, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all domestic.
All right, you know what?
We didn't quite make it to the end, but
Just forget it. We got it.
Yeah, Flocka.
That's a really good question. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out the principles by which the advice would be trustworthy. Okay, how do you know it's not trustworthy? Well, one potential response to that would be the claims are not in accordance with the facts. But, facts are tricky things, and it depends on where you look for them. So
It depends how you define depends. The facts are tricky things.
I'm just spitting facts,
Sometimes the facts is like Geppetto. You try to build a real boy, but he gets swallowed by a whale. And inside the whale, you find the Excalibur,
right.
like King Arthur.
no.
But it's shattered, like Aragorn's sword.
Like
In a book?
Must be reforged.
and it's like you come out like Moses spreading the sea, and it's all just too much.
Because you're the first one on the moon, just like Neil Armstrong. You're up there, all alone.
It's like Geppetto said, "I wish I had a real boy."
It's like,
Jiminy Cricket.
It's like Geppetto said, "This porridge is too hot, but this one is just right."
The fable of the three bears really says a lot. And it's like she went in there to taste the porridge, but instead she found a big swamp, and it was Shrek and Donkey.
I must say that I've had some post-coital regrets about that phrase.
That's a tough one to get right because, for example, Lomberg's fundamental critics argue about his facts, not just his interpretation of them.
So this guy goes, someone left, why should I listen to you about environmental shit? And he said, well, that's a good question because facts, facts are tricky. And this one guy about this one thing said this. Bro, you got nothing to say?
I'm trying to make a point.
Well, and he so quickly, I don't know if I caught it completely correctly, but it was like, what if somebody said that to you? And then within 2 sentences, he's like 3 guys deep into a hypothetical back and forth.
It's the inception of...
right. It's just like, but then he would say this, but then somebody might say this to that.
Yeah,
and it's just what do you say?
It's the inception
That's the question.
of podcasting or something, or I don't know, thinking. I mean, the man's inceptioning himself into a black hole of fucking nothingness.
Yes.
How can anyone watch this and think this is an interesting intellectual conversation? It's just sad.
The mob. So that can't be an unerring guide. And so I thought, well, the facts exactly doesn't work. Because when it's about...
I thought I will ask a climate Scientologist. And then I said, fuck that.
I did not.
Because what is climate? And what is a scientist? And then I thought, it rains a lot in Pinocchio when the flood comes. Well, that's climate.
And to that, someone would say...
It rains a lot in Pinocchio.
And so we have to consider that. And he just goes on a tangent. This morning I had a pretty bad diarrhea. So there's that to consider. I use baby wipes. They say they clog the drains. Does anybody figure that into their equation?
Who has to go fix those drains? These poor men, these sewer workers.
So to answer your question, yes, people should listen to me about the environment. Whatever that means.
Everything, there's too many facts.
Facts!
So then how do you determine...
That's what I've figured out his cadence. Whatever that means, we got to think about the facts. He speeds up real fast, or he emphasizes, la!
If someone's a trustworthy guide in the face of the apocalyptic unknown, because that's really the question.
Motherfucker, should they listen to you on climate?
And the answer is, They're not terrified tyrants. I think that's the answer.
Bro, that's the answer to what? That's the answer to no one's question.
Nobody asked, dude. Nobody asked. Hey, what an amazing gift to all your listeners. This tops the list as far as interviews with important thinkers. Thank you so much for sharing this interview with your audience. I will listen again and be inspired.
Oh my God. Were these people even listening? Or were they like doing something else in the background?
Listen more than you.
If you're not actually listening, it sounds like a very clever conversation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if you actually like, what the fuck is he saying? It doesn't make any sense.
God damn.
This was heaven. Literally my two favorites in the last few years, and nobody before them.
Wow.
Oh my God.
But Nietzsche said God is dead.
Here's a new one. Here he believes he uses logic to prove God exists.
And we have killed him, and we'll not find enough water to wash away all the blood. So that was Nietzsche. He's no fool.
He's got away with words.
He certainly does. And so then you think, okay, well, we killed the transcendent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what does that mean for science? Well, it frees it up because all that nonsense about a deity is just the idiot superstition that stops the scientific process from moving forward. That's basically the new atheist claim, something like that. It's like, wait a second. Do you believe in the transcendent if you're a scientist? And the answer is, well, not only do you believe in it, you believe in it more than anything else, because if you're a scientist...
This guy, he poses questions to himself and then answers them.
Yep.
It's a great way to make you sound
That's
like
the
you
whole
have answers.
podcast.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, wait a minute. What did you eat for breakfast? Well, the answer is pancakes.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
You believe in what objects to your theory more than you believe in your theory. Now, we got to think that through very carefully. So your theory describes the world, and as far as you're concerned, your description of the world is the world. But because you're a scientist, you think, well, even though that's my description of the world and that's what I believe, there's something beyond what I believe. And that's the object. And so I'm going to throw my theory against the object and see where it'll break.
Random
and then
as
I'm going
fuck.
to use the evidence of the break as a source of new information to revitalize my theory. So as a scientist, you have to posit the...
Nobody's following this.
I'm curious where this is going because
Okay,
I'm
all right, here we
following
go.
what he's saying.
Here we go.
Existence of the ontological transcendent before you can move forward at all. But more, you have to posit that contact with the ontological transcendent, annoying though it is because it upsets your apple cart, is exactly
Apple cart?
what will in fact set you free. So then you accept the proposition that there is
No,
a transcendent
okay, yeah.
reality.
Shut the fuck up. It's
and
so
that
stupid.
That
No.
contact
Are you asking a logical question?
with that
right now?
transcendent reality is redemptive in the most fundamental.
Now you have to ask yourself, bring that back. I love that, Ian, bring that back. You have to ask yourself, where's my apple cart going? And is it stopping before the donkey with the beast of burden? And the beasts, we feel for the beasts because, well, they're beasts. But what is a beast?
The beast gets the beauty.
The beast did get the beauty, so is it a beast or a prince? And I go back to the apple cart. And I take a bite of the apple of knowledge. You know, Adam, he took a bite of an apple. That didn't turn out so good, did it? And Eve, well, she's just a rib. She's not even really a whole person.
What is that one? Holy shit.
This is awesome. Here's the last one. Let's watch it.
Death, your own.
Who knows?
How often do you gaze upon death, your own?
Yeah, this guy's reading. He sees the writing on the wall. How often do you think about death? Because it's right around the corner, bro. And we all know it. Like Like this is his effort to be like, "Yo, are you okay?" This is how much
his intervention.
Yeah, this is the best they can do to intervene.
Very soon you go to hell.
So, how often do you think about death, Jordan Peterson?
Who knows?
How often do you gaze upon death, your own? How often do you remind yourself that this ride ends?
Personally?
Personally.
All the time.
Literally every second of every day.
As a deep thinker.
He knows, man. He knows he's not well. Like, he could be healthy and like live a long time, but something is going deeply wrong. Like the meat, the benzos. There's just his body is not surviving well.
Yeah.
He's putting the wrong gas in the fucking tank. You know what I mean?
Shatteringly insightful conversation. Thank you both for expressing yourselves so fully and truthfully. It was a pleasure to watch and listen. Shatteringly insightful.
Man, Jordan Peterson wrote that.
No, it's a Bisquick knife.
Right, okay.
The great thinker.
All right.
Bisquick.
As a deep thinker and philosopher, it's easy to start philosophizing and forgetting that you might die today.
The angel of death sits on every word.
He's always right behind me.
I think about death constantly. The angel of death sits on every word I say. And every morning I take a benzo and I wonder, is this my last? What is last? What is benzo? Benzo sounds like bend. Am I bending over to pick up my benzo? No. No. It's on the table. I don't have to bend. Anyway, I'm going to die.
How's that?
How often do you actually consciously
All the time.
Notice the angel?
All the time.
Dude, he's crying out for help. Please
He's
help
literally-
this man.
I think it's one of the things that made me.
He's literally the dude from the Seventh Seal. He just has the Grim Reaper, just like following him around at all times.
Swedish movie, right?
It is a Swedish movie.
Shout out to Ingmar Bergman, dude.
It's a
Shout out.
Bergman. That's a Bergman joint.
Please help him, guys. You're not listening. He's crying for help. I think about death constantly. It haunts my every thought.
You see it?
It's the first thing on my mind and the last thing on my mind before I go to sleep. I see you. You look like the angel of death. Please help. Please help me. That's very interesting, Jordan. Anyway, this is me asking for help. I'm begging you, please stop using me.
So what do you think about trans kids?
Yes, yeah. Fucking freaks.
Notice the angel.
All the time. I think it's one of the things that made me peculiar. When I was in graduate school, you know, I thought about, I had the thought of death in my mind all the time. And I noticed that many of the people that I was with, these were people I admired fine. That wasn't part of their character, but it was definitely part of mine. I'd wake up every morning. This happened for years. Think, time's short, get at it. Time's short, get at it. There's things to do. And then, so after the lecture, we play a piece of music that is a piece of music that I've been producing with some musicians for a couple of books I'm going to release in the fall. Terrible books. ABC of Childhood Tragedy, they're called. Dark books.
It's 14 pages!
Dark and comical books. Terrible books. Heartbreaking illustrations.
Can't wait to read them. Sounds fun.
Can't wait for the audiobooks.
Yeah.